Welcome to Chef Hub Palate House. Today we're doing the mac and cheese, beef bacon, and pesto shrimp. Special guest of the day is Digga. Let's get it. All right, let's go over our mise en place. Today we got our beef bacon, we have shrimp, we have the pesto that we're gonna put on the shrimp, we have our scallions, and we have our chopped parsley for garnish, our cheese, we have cubes of cheddar, Gouda, we have shredded cheddar and Parmesan Reggiano, our noodles are rigatoni, cavatappi, and we're gonna cook it in chicken stock for extra flavor. Let's get it. All right, we're gonna start our flame. We're gonna put our oil in our cast iron pan. That's what we're gonna cook our beef bacon in to make sure we have the appropriate flavor to cook our shrimp in later on, our pesto shrimp. Put the olive oil in here. We're also going to put our noodles in our other pan that's warming up. This is a sauteur. You want to make sure you use the right noodles. We use rigatoni and cavatappi noodles because these are going to hold on that cheese. You want to make sure you use the right noodles to hold on the cheese so the cheese can hold on it. I'm going to put that chicken stock in there. You can add just a little bit more water to that. Just make sure it covers. As you can see, cast iron pan, our beef bacon. And make sure we add appropriate space in the pan so we can get that nice crunch that we need. Our goal is for these noodles to come to a boil. That's why we had the pan on high. And this is a way that you can cook your noodles without having to put it in a separate pan with a strainer. Because the noodles are going to soak up all this liquid. Beef bacon, you see it got some color, which that's what we want. We want to make sure the beef bacon is nice and crunchy. All that fat that you see in the pan, we're going to use to cook our shrimp in. All right, as you can see, our bacon, we took out the pan. It's nice and crunchy, just the way we want it, because this is going to be a garnish. And the fat from the bacon, remember, that's what we're going to cook our shrimp in. Your bacon you can break with your hands, because it's nice and crunchy. We don't even have to chop it with the knife. Just want like a little rough chop. There we go, that's gonna be our garnish with our shrimp. All right, as you can see, our noodles are getting close to al dente, so now we're gonna add our heavy cream. This heavy cream is gonna allow the cheese to break down even more because of the fat. Remember, like I said, when you think about good flavors, you always want to think about acidity, salt, and fat. All of those ingredients we have in our food today. We're gonna mix this in. Of course, the heavy cream needs to heat up a little bit. So we want this to simmer. Once we see this boil just a little bit, then we're gonna start adding in our cheese in sections. All right, our heavy cream is simmering. Now we're gonna turn our flame off because we don't want the cheese to overcook. And we're gonna add our cheese in sections. We're gonna start with our Parmesan Reggiano mixture with shredded cheddar cheese. Gonna slowly but surely fold it in. Now we can add some of our cubes of cheese so that can start to melt slowly but surely. These cubes are also going to melt even more once we finish up everything in the oven. As you can see, it's getting thicker and thicker. The cheese is starting to melt. The cheese is starting to melt. Getting cheesier and cheesier. That's the way we want it. Gonna add our mozzarella. Now, of course, mozzarella, this is the mozzarella provolone mix. This is definitely going to bring everything together once this slowly but surely melts. Look at that. Look at that. Mac and cheese getting cheesier and cheesier. Now we're going to add some flavor now. I want to put a little salt. We're going to use a little sea salt. I'm going to use white pepper. Anytime you're using white pepper, you're using it because you don't want the color of the black pepper on whatever you're cooking. I want this to stay white, but I still want the flavor of that black pepper on there. Throw some oregano in there. About 2 teaspoons. Herb Provence. That's a nice Italian mixture. These dry seasonings you can get in your local supermarket. I'm gonna put some roasted garlic. Roasted garlic, of course, because it's roasted, that garlic flavor is richer. Because what's the most important thing? We want flavor. The flavor that you can savor. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a lemon. Because I want to put some acidity in there. Got the lemon, squeeze it on top. You could use like half a lemon. You don't need the whole lemon. Let that soak in. Yeah, let that soak in. Ah, I wish we had smell-o-vision. Flavors, the smell of this it's crazy. Now we're gonna put it in this baking dish. We don't have to put it all in here. Of course, this is enough for probably 2 orders. Make sure everything is nice and even in the baking dish, and then we can put a couple of cubes of cheese, the Gouda and the aged cheddar. Just sticking in little parts because this is going to melt. These are going to be little cheesy chunks. As you can see, we put the cubes of cheese. We put it in little areas. So when that melts, when we put that in the oven, it just is a little bit more cheesier. This is mac and cheese, baby. The cheesier the better. That's how we want it. So now we got it in our baking dish. We're gonna put it to the side and we're gonna saute our shrimp. So by the time we take this out the oven, the pesto shrimp will be nice and ready. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top of it. I know. Gonna sprinkle the rest of the mozzarella cheese on there. Now we good. All right, we about to cook our shrimp. Remember, we're gonna cook it in this bacon fat. We wanna make sure all our flavors are together. And we got our flame going up nice and hot. Shrimp doesn't take long to cook at all. Remember, shrimp has an alarm on it. When it turns orange, you know that it's done. Oh, only if you can smell it. See that alarm? We can see slowly but surely it's changing color. I'm gonna take a little bit of butter, not margarine. We don't mess with margarine in here. We'll get about a tablespoon. A little extra fat. I want a little extra fat. See, it's popping. We want to turn that flame down just a little bit. We're going to add some of this pesto. Got the garlic in there. Butter. Oh man, if you can smell this, man. Wonderful. Oh, that garlic, Parmesan. Now you're gonna see me take this out. We're gonna garnish with some of our beef bacon. Look at that cheese bubbling. I don't know if you can see that cheese bubbling, but it's bubbling. Put a bit of chopped parsley on top of there for color. All right, now we're just gonna put it back in the oven, just for a minute. That's it. All right. Today we got Digga in the building. Straight out of North, Brick City. Looking good. Look at it. All colorful.
Thank you.
So what's good with you, Rod?
I'm good, man.
How everything going?
Everything's going great. I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah. we got something ready for you.
All right.
You know what I mean? Some mac and cheese, beef bacon, pesto shrimp.
Okay.
That sound good to you?
Sounds fantastic.
That's what's up. So what's going on with you right now?
Right now, I am enjoying touring as an old school head. See, now I'm to the point now where I don't even have to make new music. I can just tour off the classics.
Oh, wonderful thing.
Getting that Dougie Fresh Slick Rick Salt and Pepper bag, you know. But yeah, a lot of touring. I just recently signed on with Lord Jamar to be his co-host of the United Mean.
United Mean. Yeah, that's a good podcast, man.
Thank you. I'm glad you watch it.
Yeah, I watch it. I watched a couple of them. You know, since you've been on it, because he started doing something by himself in the beginning.
Yeah, he was by himself in the basement with the pit bull in the background, Flea. So then I joined on. Now we in the full on studio. But I like the basement. The basement was fun. But
yeah, give it that rustic look.
Yeah, we definitely, you know, we're trying to not be a clickbait / gossip type of podcast. Yeah. Like we're trying to be more like informative, all things black, black excellence, black culture, and you know, just being informative. You know, sharing. I'm learning a lot of things too. Like as we prepare each week for the, you know, of what we're gonna report. Like I'm just learning things about, you know, just being a black person that I otherwise would have never thought about. So shout outs to Jamar for you know.
It's a conscious brother, Brand Nubian. You know, one of you know, old school artists. Definitely love Brand Nubian. They paved the way for plenty of MCs like yourself.
Right on.
Yeah, and you was with Flip Mode for a while.
A long while. I signed on with Flip Mode in '97. A lot of people don't know I was actually Q-Tip's artist first.
Yeah.
I signed my deal to Elektra through Q-Tip first, but that was the same time that Tribe Called Quest was disbanding, so I don't think Q-Tip was really able to give me, you know, that attention that I wanted. Plus, I was, you know, when you were a hungry artist, you're not caring about what's going on with, you know, with the boss's personal life. You just you know, you want to get your stuff out. So I ended up probably about a year in. Plus I was pregnant too, so that was you know, that was like a blessing. I kind of got to sit back and enjoy like a year-long maternity leave. Yeah. But '97, I ultimately signed on to Flip Mode, and Busta let me rock on the Posse joint. We Could Take It Outside on his Disaster Strikes album, and the rest.
And that other joint, Baby, Could You Give It To Me?
Well, that came way down the line.
Okay.
Initially, you know, my initial getting into Flip Mode. That was that, and then when we did the Cha 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 and everybody on the line outside, and I guess the most memorable line was Digga Digga, birth name Rashia. So the demand for Digga started, you know, kicking up, and Busta had no choice but to just move me ahead of because I was one of the last people to sign on the Flip move, but I was the first one to, you know, once we officially became squad like that, I was the first one to put out an album. So
that Dirty Harriet album,
right?
Yeah, that was fire. That definitely was fire.
Thanks.
And that's what you touring. You doing a lot of joints from that album?
I do a lot from Dirty Harriet. I also did another album independently that I dropped around 2010 called Classic.
Yeah.
There was the album Everything Is a Story that was supposed to be the follow up to Party and Bullshit, but that never dropped. We, you know, started going through label changes. We left J Records. Busta went over to Aftermath, so I was just kind of left in limbo. So I leaked it on my own. Yeah. You know, I own the masters to that album, so I put it out on my own, and that music has gotten around over the years. I was, you know, selling stuff on my Bandcamp page. Rod Digga Music and Bandcamp.
Rod Digga Music.
So, as well as SoundCloud. So
I heard some of that album actually on Satellite XM.
Okay.
It was playing it on Shady 405.
Oh, dope. Yeah, so between that, you know, the classic, definitely Dirty Harriet, and I have tons of features. Like, there's so many people don't realize until they come to a Rod Digga show. Like, wow. You really got a lot of joints. Like, I got the Whoa remix, I got the Touch It remix. You know, I'm on a lot of other people's.
Yes, Ghostface.
Yeah, there's a lot. You know, there's a lot of collaborations and guest appearances that I have out there. And when I perform them, you know, as medleys at my shows, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh wow, I remember that. Oh wow, I remember that. Wow, Digga done a lot of stuff. Yeah, so you know, I do well at live shows.
That's good. That's good. And social media is keeping keeping the young cats aware to what you've done and what you're still doing.
Right. Plus, I'm always getting cussed out on Twitter. I'm always I'm always speaking my mind on Twitter, and then I guess I get dragged for it. But
that's what it is, man.
I love it. Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I care about hip hop culture, and I don't want to see it just fall by the wayside. And you know, I'm respectful and understanding of the new generation that's coming after me, but at the same time, you know, there's rules and standards that I feel that they're not exempt from. Like, they need to adhere to those same standards. If if they don't listen to us, if we don't say to them, you know, what we feel are proper code of ethics in hip hop, you know, they'll never learn it. They're not gonna do.
You gotta set a bar.
They're not gonna do the research themselves. It's like we can't just leave this culture to anything goes and whatever happens, because that's what happens to every other genre of music. And long as I'm alive, I ain't letting that happen to hip hop. Yeah, each one teach one.
That's what I'm saying. Teach one, and in a minute we about to eat one. One big meal.
All this talk about hip hop show got me hungry.
But we want to tell the kids that there's plenty of opportunities.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not just rapping. It's
not just rapping. It's not just producing. Yeah. You got engineering. You got publicists. You have bookkeepers. You have assistants. You have managers. You have road managers. Like, there's so many jobs. There's so many moving parts to making an artist great. Yeah. And a lot of people, you know, from the engineer to the cameraman to the videographer to the
shout out to the cameraman.
Shouts out to the cameraman. Like, we could sit here and talk all day, and y'all wouldn't get this if it wasn't for the man behind the camera. So there's always a team that has to build themselves in order for any particular project or artist to be successful. So that's another thing that I can't stress enough to my students and just people in general. Like, everybody's not going to be Drake. I'm sorry. Everybody's not going to be Nicki Minaj. There's like, you know, there's what you call anomalies. There are certain things that only happens once in a blue. Like, every stripper is not going to be Cardi B. Every producer is not gonna be a Dr. Dre. It's you just have to understand that, and you know, I guess channel your energy and figure out who you are. Like once you have that knowledge of self and understand what it is that you're trying to do and what you want to see, you know, your end goal be, then you just move accordingly and build a proper team. Keep your team small. Can't stress that enough. Keep your team. The bigger the entourage. People say more money, more problems. No, more niggas, more problems. Okay. Keep your entourage small. More money ain't the problem. It's more niggas. Okay.
For real. Now we want to keep them niggas away from this food we about to eat.
Right.
But we want to give a shout out to Rod Digga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm happy you came here.
Thank you.
We about to eat this mac and cheese with pesto shrimp and beef bacon in a minute.
Even and he getting me because I've been laying off the meat. I told him that I had stopped eating meat, but I did just tear into a ribeye a couple of days ago. I just need that for shows. I don't know, something about a steak, something about a steak for breakfast before my shows just turns me into the Hulk on stage, man.
That's it. That's the animal part of us, man. It is what it is. We all animals to a certain extent, man. But we happy to be here, man. And shout out to all the people who love Rod Digga. Shout out to people who follow her since Flip Mode. Shout out to our cameraman, DoloFilmz.
Shout out to people just calling me up here saying, hey, want to come eat some food and be on my podcast?
Yeah, definitely.
Shouts out to you.
Oh, it's been a minute. I've been trying to
don't
get
threaten
this
me with some shrimp and pesto and stuff.
Yep, it's about to happen.
I'm greedy.
Yep, so let's get it.
Let's get it.
Shrimp all sexy on top, beef bacon on there for you. Yeah, look at that.
Great.
For that fresh look. Make sure we get a little something right here for you. Oh, look at that. Look at that cheese.
I'm gonna need my shrimp. I'm gonna need my shrimp that fell off the spoon back up in there. There you go. There you go. Let's get it.
I got you. Look at that. Look at that cheese. That cheese. That beef bacon crunched all up in there. Oh, man.
Oh, that looks great.
You don't mind if I make something for myself, do you?
Help yourself.
Ah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Now you got my tin pan ready, right? Because you know this is coming with me, right?
Oh, no problem. We got doggy bag for you.
Okay.
All right.
No, I need a pan. I need a doggy pan.
All right. Here we are. Get your fork, sister. This is our favorite part. Chef Puff Palate House.
All right.
Oh, man. Dig in. I want you to taste it.
Okay.
Oh, she got to pray first. Get a little bit of that shrimp, that beef bacon, and cheese. Oh.
Piping hot.
Oh, man. Where's somebody's mama at so I can slap?
Yeah.
Digga, man, I appreciate you.
My guy right here.
That's what's up.
Friends in the air.
Ain't nothing better than a man that can feed a woman. But we'll talk about that next show. Swap.